Hello everyone, in this video I'll be comparing Starfield to No Man's Sky in 2023. So Starfield just came out recently, but I've also been playing a bit of No Man's Sky and I just want to compare the two of these two games. Now Starfield is at launch, so it's not going to be as refined and polished as a game like No Man's Sky, which has had time to develop, but I just want to put these two against each other because they're very similar in the way that they play. Now with Starfield, one of the things that bothers me right off the bat is a lot of the gameplay is just running across these empty planets, and you do have something to scan them with, but it's not to the same level as No Man's Sky, so I don't know, I feel like I don't pay too much attention to this. One of the things I do like with Starfield, however, is the weapons feel pretty fresh, and it's similar to the gameplay in Fallout 4. If you're a fan of the Fallout series, you'll enjoy the combat because it's similar, just minus the VATS, but the combat part is fun. The big issue though, and something that you can do easily in No Man's Sky, is that's where I'm supposed to go right now, and this is the gameplay. We're gonna make it there eventually, but it's a lot of just walking around like this, which there's sometimes aliens you can fight, but in No Man's Sky you can literally just hover around and get to the place you need to go relatively quickly. So in Starfield, the big issue is there's no vehicles or anything to really navigate the land with. And people say that they had this in the game and they removed it, so it's potentially something that's going to come in DLC, but it really just, like this, we're just walking around. I could literally, there's times when I'm playing this where I'll just scroll through Instagram on my phone just because there's nothing happening. you also have moments where like you want to do things. Like for myself, whenever I play a game, I want to be able to travel places to place in an enjoyable way. No Man's Sky does this very well because you can just hop in your spaceship, fly to where you need to go, different planets, you name it. In here, we're stuck to pretty much doing this, running into our ship here, and fast traveling. So it's not the most enjoyable. Like I didn't even have to run all the way. I could have just went into the menu and you just pick out your mission and teleport to the mission. And especially annoying is when you're going to try and land. Like I didn't realize you couldn't land your spaceship in this game, and I was just continually trying to fly into a planet, and it wasn't working. You have to go into the menu or go right to where I'm going to right now, your pilot seat, and then you have to select manually where you want to fly to. And then you also have to select it again sometimes to land on the planet. So that can be quite frustrating. We're gonna take off now. The spaceship flying itself is just okay. I don't think at least the ship that I'm using, I'm still not like incredibly far into the game, and I'm still using the base ship, but it doesn't move around very well. And I just started up a game in No Man's Sky the other day, hopped in the ship, and it was very fluid feeling. So there is some differences I noticed definitely within the gameplay that just, I think I prefer No Man's Sky's way of doing it. But that's not to say that they won't implement these changes themselves. So you can see that's where I have to go. We can put our engines all the way up. All the way up. Max out the engines. We won't be able to fly there. It'll take literal days. What you have to do is go into your map and find where you want to go. One thing I do want to mention that's nice about Starfield is the maps look beautiful. Much better than No Man's Sky. You got these beautiful looking stars in the background. But again, you have to go click, click, set course, and then find where you're going to, and then you go jump by pressing X. In No Man's Sky was a lot simpler. They're similar, I guess, but No Man's Sky just felt a lot better to travel place to place, and then you could actually land where you needed to land. In Starfield, you can dock, and I'm going to give a demonstration of that here in a moment, but there's just something about this game that it's just lacking, where No Man's Sky did it very well. Again, I want to make the point that Starfield still is a new game, so they have plenty of time to make these changes, and there's inevitable DLC that's going to come out. This has been a lot of money dumped into this game from... Oh, we got scanned for contraband. There's a lot of marketing dumped into this game by Microsoft, so we will see some changes and probably a DLC. But this is a AAA game. You kind of expect those things to be just, you expect it to be in the game itself. So we traveled here, and we have to once again go back into here, set course, and then travel. So we, that's the thing I noticed with No Man's Sky, or with Starfield, is you go into the menu frequently to travel where you want to go, but it doesn't feel very fluid. Like, I didn't know how to target onto this. Ooh. So you connect with E and then you dock. I didn't know that for the longest time. I was bashing into planets on stream, and it was kind of embarrassing because it just doesn't feel that natural. Probably on controller it's a lot different, but I'm also kind of new to keyboard and mouse, so that is something to take into consideration, I guess. But all things considered, this game does have some highlights. The partners like this guy and this guy, they're pretty funny. Like they have like decent story to them. No Man's Sky has a weird story. I'm not gonna say that it's a bad story, but it is a different story. It's about aliens and stuff, whereas this is about real people. So in the aspect of story, I think that Starfield has probably the edge there, but I haven't been enjoying much of the dialogue. It feels like a Netflix poorly wrote drama. I don't know. I might be just being a little critical, but acquire the power on. Okay, so you just keep repetitively coming back here, and he tells you where to go, and then you just go back in your ship. Like, this could have been an email, this could have been a call. There's so many weird things about this game that I'm like, you're not letting me fly from planet to planet proper, and you're not gonna let me like actually just have the freedom to go explore.
I can't believe I get to stand near you.
The Adoring Fan makes this game a lot funnier. He returns from Oblivion. It was funny seeing him in this game, but there's just so much that feels missing from this game. Oh, the wording is not always the best either. I just went right back into this place. So, yeah, there's like little things like that that kind of make the experience less enjoyable, because there's less. It's not as intuitive as playing No Man's Sky, where you can just, you know, do a lot of things more freely. You can mine into planets. We're gonna undock, and then we're gonna go fly to the next planet. This is fun. This has been the most fun that I've had. I'm about 7 or 8 hours into the game, and it's go talk to him, fly in a new place. I've done this 3 times now, and every single time it's just warp. You go into a menu, you go back out of a menu, go into a menu, go back out of a menu. And I just want to make a moment to take a moment to talk about some of the funny bugs that I've been experiencing in this game. You've probably seen videos of this, the character models looking really weird, and their eyes like popping out of their head, almost like the new Mortal Kombat 1 on the Nintendo Switch. But I've seen it a lot in this game. The character models look weird. You have to be in the right. They say you have to be in the right lighting at the right like level, and I don't know. If you have to say that about your character models, they're probably not that great. Like, this game is just so dry and boring, it's making me yawn. But another funny thing is, I went to go back to my ship one time, and it fell into the planet. It was on stream too, so you can go check that out if you want to watch. But like, I had to like exit of the game, pop back into it, and like, it was just really strange. But I've been experiencing a lot of things like kind of glitching out, like textures floating or little items floating that where they shouldn't be, which is okay. It's expected to see glitches like that. And Skyrim and Fallout both had that same thing occur. But yeah, I just want to make this video to talk a little bit about Starfield. I'm going to have to go into another menu to land this thing. So again, this is like the thing that does bother me is the amount of loading screens you have to go through, and I didn't know that at first. I was trying to fly these places, wasting my time. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Starfield versus No Man's Sky in 2023. I think they're both pretty great games, but at best they have a lot of weaknesses, and I'd say like Starfield, No Man's Sky are probably 7, 8 out of 10 games, and they're not much higher than that, but you will have a lot of fun. So obviously that's what gaming's all about, so don't let other people's opinions impact how you enjoy a game. If you find it fun, that's all that matters. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.